I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me.
Literally was sent to the basement with all my friends and family for over an hour because I wasn't allowed to be seen. She didn't want me anywhere near her or the rest of the cast. So they ushered me off the carpet and they sent us down to the basement. We were down there together, my friends and family, the people that love me the most, and we start laughing because of the ridiculousness of
all the women out there that are watching. No matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard. The conclusion here, I have said this since before, long before this ever broke out between her and Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively is not a good person.
Late last night, the legal battle involving Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni took a shocking turn. Baldoni's team dropped an amended complaint packed with text messages, timelines, and fresh evidence that's shaking up the entire case. According to sources, Baldoni's legal team alleges a calculated effort by Lively and her team to manipulate public perception and damage his reputation. Claims that, if true, suggest this wasn't just a reactionary move, but a long-planned strategy. The most damning part? The text messages. Exchanges between Baldoni and Reynolds paint a vastly different picture from what's been suggested. Far from being a jealous or conniving figure, Baldoni's messages to Reynolds are polite and respectful. He even praises Reynolds and Lively, expressing admiration for their family and joking about his own awkwardness. Reynolds' response? Just as warm. He acknowledges Baldoni's talent, thanks him for his support, and even discusses the challenges of balancing work and family, something Reynolds and Lively have always been protective of. But here's where it gets complicated. The messages also revealed that Reynolds was deeply involved in scheduling discussions, adjusting dates, and prioritizing his family's needs. On the surface, it all seems normal, until you compare it to the accusations that followed. So what really happened, and why does the evidence seem to contradict the narrative that's been spun? The case just got a whole lot messier, and this is far from over. Stay tuned. This story is only getting started.
It's based on a beautiful, really important book, and it's about a young woman named Lily who confronts the generational cycles in her life and breaks them and ends the circle. And I hope people find it inspiring, and yet also, it's a film about a heavy topic. It's about domestic violence.
And effectively what I think has happened here, and the reason I think people are interested in this, is because she has made herself into the new Amber Heard, and he is the new Johnny Depp. That's what's caught people's attention.
With the New York Times, her publicist worked directly with the New York Times. They shared illegally obtained text messages. They shared those together. They omitted texts that would have provided context, texts that were in the exact same string that would have provided context of what was really going on.
Here's where things take a dramatic turn. Evidence suggests something shifted drastically after those friendly text exchanges. According to the amended complaint, Ryan Reynolds allegedly went from a supportive collaborator to an active opponent, with claims that he personally called Baldoni's agent, referring to him as a deranged predator. If true, that's a serious accusation. But it didn't stop there. The complaint also alleges that Reynolds pressured senior executives at Baldoni's agency, urging them to cut ties with him entirely, and even suggesting he was unsafe to be around. Then there's Blake Lively's involvement. Reports indicate she had already been making behind-the-scenes complaints, with two key grievances standing out: a so-called sexy comment and a birthing video. These concerns reportedly led her to file complaints with Sony. However, there's another detail that's raising eyebrows. Lively allegedly pushed for the removal of 2 female assistant directors, though the reason remains unclear. Now, speculation is swirling that Reynolds' attitude shifted after noticing how closely Baldoni and Lively were working together. Some theorize jealousy played a role in the sudden hostility, and when the timeline is pieced together, It certainly appears that something changed dramatically between those friendly messages and the subsequent campaign to damage Baldoni's reputation. But the real bombshell? These texts and new evidence weren't just leaked to the public. They were officially filed in court as exhibits in Baldoni's amended complaint. That means this isn't just speculation anymore. It's part of the legal record. And with this new evidence now in play, the case just got even messier.
It's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which one?
It's just,
now I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
And tons of like Bodhi, which is with this. I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear, but it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting it in the shot.
Move as quickly as we possibly can and prove our innocence, where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
Guys, be releasing more documents and text messages.
That they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal. Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni. All of the evidence points.
Everything on a website for everyone in the public to read, come to their own conclusions.
And this is just the beginning. Reports indicate that over 200 more pages of documents, messages, and key details are still being analyzed. What else is hidden in those files? What new twists are about to emerge? This case is already chaotic, but it's about to get even messier. What's not being discussed enough is the possibility that Baldoni's reputation was being quietly damaged long before this lawsuit even came to light. According to insiders, Hollywood executives had been warned for months to keep their distance from him. If true, this suggests a calculated effort to push him out of major projects. But why? Was it really just about Lively's complaints, or is something bigger at play? Then there's the power dynamic. A closer look at the texts reveals how Lively and Reynolds positioned themselves as key decision-makers from the start. Lively pushing for scheduling changes, Reynolds emphasizing his family's priorities. It all suggests a deliberate effort to control the production's direction. And when things didn't go their way, did they decide to shut Baldoni out completely? Sony, meanwhile, found itself in the middle, trying to manage tensions between its high-profile stars and the rest of the cast and crew. At some point, though, a choice was made to back Lively's complaints. Was it a strategic decision based on her star power, or did they genuinely believe Baldoni was in the wrong? That remains up for debate. Now, Baldoni's lawsuit against the New York Times takes things even further, claiming that key facts have been misrepresented and that crucial context has been deliberately omitted. If true, that could completely shift public perception of this case. So, what's the real story? With new evidence piling up and major Hollywood players caught in the crossfire, this legal battle is far from over.
What you've said now in your lawsuit against the Times is, don't even believe the texts that you see in the Lively lawsuit. They're seriously misrepresented, omitting major facts that would give them an entirely different meaning. And that's where I want to bring you in. So tell us what we don't know. Justin, you succeeded. You're good. You can stop unspooling now because there's no thread left on that thing. This is what she's done throughout. She said, he came into my trailer while I was breastfeeding. Well, then he produced the text messages showing her saying, I'm breastfeeding, come on over.
She has proven herself not to be a...
The question now is, what comes next? With these texts now public, scrutiny on Lively and Reynolds is intensifying. Some are demanding full transparency, while others argue this is just a misunderstanding blown out of proportion. But with more documents yet to be revealed, it's hard to see this controversy fading anytime soon. If you haven't already, stay locked in. More details are on the way, and this story is far from over.
Pam, I'll be honest, they were psychopaths. All the quick games in Compton knew Puddin' because he put in work against all of us.
You had to be careful of that one person Puddin', man, because he had a grand